Since E3 2019, which shocked everyone with a private playable demo of Final Fantasy VII Remake, fans have been desperately wondering if they'll get a chance to play the game for themselves prior to release. Even more tantalizing is that Square Enix hasn't let anyone in the public record footage of the demo, with only written accounts of people's experiences. With the game being only 7 months away, anticipation is higher than ever, and let's be honest, we're all dying to get a taste of that brand new battle system, and really none of us can wait. While Square Enix is continuing onward, bringing the same demo from E3 to the Hong Kong game show, no one could record footage, and of course you had to be at the event in order to play it. But at the same time, it just makes us wonder if we'll receive a public demo of the game. It begs the question, what is the likelihood we'll actually see a demo of Final Fantasy VII Remake? First and foremost, Square Enix has always distributed some form of demos for every Final Fantasy since the original 7, excluding FF9, Final Fantasy 7, 8, 10, 10-2, 12, 13, 13-2, and 15 all received one or more playable demos, with Final Fantasy 15 actually receiving 3 demos in the form of Episode Duskai 1.0 and 2.0, Platinum Demo, and Judgment Demo, which was only available in Japan. Final Fantasy 13's demo as well being a Japanese exclusive, bundled with the Blu-ray copy of Final Fantasy VII Advent Children Complete. However, the biggest commonality between all of Square Enix's demos is that they're typically bundled with another game that they're expecting to have average sales with in order to incentivize the purchase further. Of course, during the PlayStation 1 days, there was no way to simply download a demo or easily distribute a demo disc. While this is no longer true, even with the aforementioned 13 and with Final Fantasy 15, they still chose to do it. I'm sure many of you already remember this happening with Final Fantasy Type 0 HD, in which you had to buy a copy of the game in order to get Episode Duskai, which made a lot of people mad, but it allowed you to check out the game far ahead of its release. The same has also been true with Kingdom Hearts, when you consider Kingdom Hearts 0.2 being a demo for essentially Kingdom Hearts 3. To get this demo, you had to buy a copy of Kingdom Hearts 2.8, which was basically a remaster of Dream Drop Distance, with this demo tagged along. So Square is still very much a big fan of bundling demos. Bear in mind, if they bundle it with the game, it would have to be a PlayStation 4 exclusive, or at least only bundled with the PS4 version, in order to redeem a PS4 download code. Looking at Square Enix's upcoming game list, there really isn't anything, unless they bundle it with the PS4 version of Final Fantasy VIII Remastered. A publicly available PSN demo is always possible, but if that were to happen, then they wouldn't likely make the demo until at least January or February publicly available. Ideally, you want publicly available demos to reflect a finished product, as giving the internet a copy of a game that still needs a lot of polishing is just begging for pre-orders to be cancelled, and for social media to tear the game to shreds for flaws that will inevitably be fixed in the final copy of the game. In fact, some studies have shown that demos negatively impact pre-order sales. There's a lot of reasons why this is, but it primarily boils down to things such as, for starters, picking a great spoiler-free segment of the game that will actually convince gamers that the rest of the game is good, and showing them what the appeal of the game actually is. And if the demo in any way, shape, or form indicates to the player that the final product may be half-baked, pre-orders get cancelled, potential sales are lost, so there's a lot of caution that has to be taken in that aspect as well. Then there's also the fact that this game is being directed by Tetsuya Nomura, who doesn't often do public demos. Rather than doing any sort of official PSN demo for Kingdom Hearts 3, the approach instead was to invite press and various YouTubers who privately hosted events to play the game and make content about it. They also brought these demos to various events in the US and Europe. Considering that they've already brought Final Fantasy VII Remake's demo that was presented at E3 to the Hong Kong game show, I think it's very safe to imagine that Square will take a very similar approach, offering attendees at future trade shows the ability to play the game if they're physically present, though there was still a demo technically made available in the form of Kingdom Hearts 0.2 Birth by Sleep: A Fragmentary Passage. God, I still don't know what he was thinking with that title, but in either case, it simply goes back to demos being bundled in with another game for purchase. But but probably the biggest precaution that has to be taken with releasing public demos is that oftentimes demos are data mined, and there's no way to remove all the references and codes and assets to everything before and after the demo taking place. This tends to create a situation where potentially things can be spoiled. With the aforementioned Kingdom Hearts 2, this leaked a number of details about Kingdom Hearts 3 far ahead of the announcements being made. While Final Fantasy VII Remake is indeed a remake, it also has more new content than it does remade content, and data mining opens up potential for the game to have many of its announcements leaked far ahead of time. This, above all else, is probably their biggest concern. So, do I believe there will be a public demo of Final Fantasy VII Remake? It's not impossible, but I honestly think the likelihood is fairly low for now. When you consider that the game is going to sell millions of units with or without a demo, the fact that there's nothing to really bundle the demo with, and the fact that they wouldn't even let the press record any of the demo footage, the idea of a demo is one that's very far off, or at least for now. So Ultima Weapons, I want to know what you think. Should Square Enix release a public PSN demo of Final Fantasy VII Remake? Or do you think they should wait to avoid things like data mining? Subscribe, click the bell icon, and let me know in the comments below. And if you've been enjoying my content, be sure to check out the Patreon for the Night Sky Prince. Thanks to Brennan Burleson, I've been able to keep this channel alive and growing, making even more Final Fantasy, JRPG, and Square Enix related content for you guys. I'm excited for everything that's happening going forward. So if you want to support the channel, there's a link in the description below. Shout out to Brennan and the rest of the Ultima community.